All right, welcome to Friday Night Magic here at Pew Pew Card and Game. I'm your host, Robbie Votaw. We're going to get things started off with a blue-white heroic versus Artarka red here. Dallas Warlow versus Mr. Sean Morris. You guys are good to go whenever you're ready. So, welcome to Friday Night Magic here at Pew Pew Card and Game. We're located here in Oak Grove, Missouri, just off of I-70. You should check us out on Facebook at Facebook/Pew Pew Card and Game. Sorry about the potential echo. So, play one, Foundry Street Denzian. Sean Morrison playing Artarka Red. This is a new build he put together just recently. Artarka Red, of course, is pretty much red deck wind splash green for Artarka's command. So we're already seeing a Foundry Street Denzian early on, so of course this is just kind of like your classic red deck wins where you want to stack as many low to the ground red guys as possible. Looks like we got dragon fodder, so two 1/1 dragon, goblin tokens are going to come in. That's going to bolster the attack power of the Foundry Street Denzian by 2, giving him a grand total of a 3 power for this turn 2 swing. 3 coming in, so I can't see, unfortunately with the glare, which land Dallas played on turn 1. It looks like it's an island. We can see it now. So yeah, a little bit of a glare that far on the other side of the table. But if you have a question about what cards are on the table, please let me know in chat. You can also tweet at me at Robbie_Votaw. So second land on the field. Again, can't see it because of the glare from that angle. But we are blue-white heroic, so we're going to be able to see like lots of planes. And actually, I do not recognize that creature from this ivory tower up here. Hey, what was that creature you just played, Dallas? What is it? Oh, Font of Fortune. Okay, Font of Fortune. He can sack that off and pay mana and gain a beneficial effect. We'll bring that card up for you guys shortly here. So, Horling Outburst is going to further buff that Foundry Street Denzian 3 more times. So he's going to be a 4/1 back with the 2 goblin tokens. So we're going to see 6 coming in, which Wardlow going to go down to 9. So this red deck is off to the races early on. We've seen 11 damage over 2 turns, and potentially, if we see another turn like that, could possibly get the lethal. So, Font of Fortunes. There it is right there for you. Blue colorless, sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. So, a little bit of a draw engine there. Want to try to get... Dallas Warlow going to need some blockers. They're going to need some sort of control. So, he's going to go ahead and sack it off to dig for some cards, get 2 more out there. We have not seen land return. This is a turn 3, so he's got a lot of heat coming his way. So just barring any sort of burn or anything, another Horling Outburst is going to bring that Foundry Street Denzian up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he has exact lethal on the board with another Horling Outburst. He could also recoup that 3 damage in the form of a Lightning Strike or even Stoke the Flames. And so drawing over 7, he's going to have to discard down. So we see a couple heroic creatures getting dumped in there that... the flyer that has the heroic on top of it. So we see a 4th land come down. That is range for Stoke the Flames, and we'll see if Morris has got any more gas left in the tank to seal this one out. Okay, so Goblin Route Master as a classic. So that's 1 red creature coming down to trigger the Foundry Tree, bringing him up to 2/1, and move to combat. Bring another Goblin in. This one has haste, so he'll be able to join the fight. So 3 with the Denzian, and a whole bunch more coming behind. 9 exactly on the board. So one of those lands must have been a gain land.
None was a gain land.
Is he not dead?
Nope.
How much life do you have?
2.
Down to 2. Okay. Must have miscalculated somewhere. Well, turn 3. 18 life damaged. Quite the explosive deck, this Artarka Red. This Artarka Red made pretty popular after last 2 weeks showing at Syracuse and other Star City events. And Dallas going to pass turn on that. So, well, I don't know. Barring something crazy, I mean, I don't know. He only has 2 in Lightning Strike just for 3 damage. Stuck on 2 lands, not a whole lot Wardlow is going to be able to do about that. So game 1 is going to go to Mr. Sean Morris on that. Sean, one of our more experienced winners. He believes he won last week Friday Night Magic with his red-white burn. Or no, last week was won by Aaron Brzezinski. Past 2 weeks, but I think Sean had taken pretty convincingly with red-white burn. So shifting over to the Artarka Red, and you saw pretty much just raw speed. Again, if you have questions or comments about what the board state looks like, please let me know in chat. I'll get you caught up on what's out there. Probably try to zoom the camera in a little bit, so if we can deal with that glare on the heroic player side of the table. So we are going to move to sideboard. So blue eye heroic with green red. Morris having some enchantment hate in the side, probably in the form of destructive revelry. Excuse me. It's 1 green, 1 red, destroy target enchantment. The controller of that enchantment takes 3 damage. So a little bit of a burn package wrapped up into 1 card, as well as enchantment removal. So it's a common card that's going to touch. It's going to be Chain to Rocks, probably the most common. But in this particular matchup, of course, with Heroic, you're going to see things like Ordeal of Heliod and Ordeal of Thassa. So a couple different avenues that enchantment removal is going to be beneficial. On Dallas's side, as far as sideboard is concerned, we really didn't see a lot of momentum get built up. The goal of Heroic is, it's kind of like you're directing a kung fu flick. You've got your hero on the main stage, and he is swinging, and all the while you're giving him empowering abilities like Defiant Strike and protecting him with God's Willing and things like that. So you're kind of directing how he blocks off damage and strikes through for big damage. But that translates into Magic is one dude, a bunch of 1/1 counters, and make him pro whatever color your opponent has on the board and swing through for a bunch of damage. So hopefully we can see Dallas will be on the play this turn. Try to get something off the gate. As you saw, just a lot of red. So it's going to make Wardlow's decision-making process when it comes to what color to protection from pretty simplified. Sean's still power shuffling there. So I had to rebuild our live stream tonight for Magic, so I don't have a lot of scenes to switch for you guys at home. So I apologize about that ahead of time, but we're going to try making streaming Magic a more consistent thing. Whoa, exposure, heads up. I think there's that watch. So, of course, Wardlow will be on the plays, Sean will be on the draw. And classic standard Friday Night Magic rules is a 2 out of 3 set, so first person to get 2 wins will take the set. Of course, Dallas will have to agree to keep first. Looks like the players are ready to sling some cardboard. Turn 1 again, man, that glare is just ruining my entire day. I cannot see what that is. But did not see a change on the die, so it was not a gain land. So we can only assume it's a plains or an island. Monastery Swiftspear on the board is a 1/2 haste, with prowess trigger, and that's pretty much it. Low to the ground beater, 1 drop, get him out early. She's going to enjoy prowess triggers from cards like, well, you saw Hordling Outburst and Dragon Fodder. And another land drop, I think that is definitely a plains, and a pass turn back to Morris. And Monastery in. And moving on to second main phase. And so the Monastery Swiftspear chipping away for now. Usually in the red deck wins builds we've seen recently we've seen things like Hammerhand and other instant things like Titan Strength and Dragon's Mantle to buff those guys up, not only to give them more damage in the long run, but also trigger those prowess abilities as often as possible. I think the thing is like a Crowan Skyguard, I believe. Yes, a Crowan Skyguard. That is what we see on Dallas's side. Flying Heroic, whenever you cast a spell, targets, he gets a 1/1 counter, in addition to being flying. So, a little 2-drop action in the air. Could pose a threat for Sean if he doesn't try to burn it off. And, Morrison knows how to play against Heroic, so you can bet that maybe he sideboarded in some Wild Slash to try to kill off these low power creatures before they get too big. But before that, we've got incoming goblins in the form of Hordling Outburst, and while those goblins won't be able to swing or necessarily block next turn because of the flying ability, they will trigger the prowess effect on that Monastery Swiftspear. So now he's going to come in for 2, putting Wardlow down to 16. So again, that's that promo Hordling Outburst in Morrison's graveyard, if you're not familiar with the art on that. I know we're dealing with a little bit of a glare on the blue-white heroic player side, so if you have any questions about what the board state is, please let me know in chat. 2 mana on the board. Oh, nope. Okay, moving them around a little bit. I assume 1 pile is plains and 1 pile is islands. I believe that is something... man, that is one of the Dragons of Tarkir white cards. and a couple others. Man, I'm not. I can't hear the players from here. I'm gonna run out there and see what those cards are real quick. All right, so those two cards that were cast were Fate Foretold and Artful Maneuver. So that's going to buff that a Crow and Flyer up to a 3/3 with 2 counters on. And I'll go quickly try to fetch the Fate Foretold card that is remaining on the battlefield. So there you have it. Enchant creature. When Fate Foretold enters the battlefield, draw a card. When enchanted creature dies, its controller draws a card. So more pseudo kind of draw engine and Artful Maneuver. Target creature gets 2/2 until end of turn, and it's got rebound, so that it will go to a rebound zone. Actually, Sean should be at 15. We see our first forest drop of the set. So quite a bit of burst damage coming in there on our blue-white heroic side. And of course, rebound, a new mechanic introduced in Dragons of Tarkir. If you cast a spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its cost. So those are great cards. The problem is if you're not really up on your triggers, you're going to have a hard time remembering that stuff. But here comes Stoke to Flames. He's going to be able to draw a card off of that Fate Foretold to Stake the Flames, and he got that Stoke the Flames off without using any of his Convoke prowess. 2, 3, 4, 5 damage in. That extra damage coming from that prowess down to 11. So Dallas Wardlow a little bit more active this game. See if he's got enough in the tank to try to stave off some of this this mono red beatdown. Is that a far return? What is it? All right, so we're gonna look that card up real quick. Seeing a lot of new stuff. I'm still not sure what that card is. That's why I need a camera tech with headphones on there so he can relay the information back to me. It's a war. You say Warwing Siren? Warwing. Alright, so I'm trying to find out what this card is really quick. And it looks like a Goblin Rattlemaster is going to come down, so we're going to get an extra Goblin during our combat phase. Interesting that Sean would leave that one green open, as generally you want to leave the red open. But we do have a Wooded Foothills as his land return. So he's going to crack it, drop down to 15. What is it? Ward Dash? That's... Yeah. Oh, man, that hyphen killing me. Are you sure? Still not popping up.
War Wing. There you go, sorry. I was calling the hyphen the dash.
Warwing Siren. Now the mystery card has been revealed to us. So he's a 3-drop, 1/3 flying with heroic. The standard heroic trigger just gives him a +1/+1. So now he's got a little bit of meat. And he's got a little bit of meat, but he's going to be harder for him to block all the oncoming onslaught of goblins, as we have a prowess trigger on the board for that Monastery Swift Spear.